So how to solve LRDI quickly? So there can be basically two methods to solve any LRDI. One is, the tried and tested, which is the rigor solving, which is basically you learn all the conditions, plot all the charts and tables, whatever is needed to solve it, and try to eliminate conditions one by one and try to put in new conditions whenever you get to know them in the solve and then prepare whatever the final answer or multiple cases that there are and then approach it. Similarly, so this teaching would be from a quant perspective, but the similar tricks can be implied in any DLR set. So you can assume it as, let's say, in a particular DLR set, first you have to go to the core approach, then you have to implement any trick which you have learned in mathematics, quants, logics, any of those things, and then implement it in LRDI. So which is what I call as smart solving. So there can be multiple approaches to it, some of which we have discussed in the past, but we also will take care of some of those also. So let's say this is the question. So you have to tell me that which company's profitability is the highest. So in on the bottom you have the sales number in let's say rupees, and then you have the profit number. So what is profitability? Profitability is basically whatever profit you have calculated upon the total sales as a percentage of it. So can you guys calculate which of the companies would have maximum profitability? So try to solve it and share your answer in the chat. So in these types of problems, profitability is what? So profitability, you all are mostly, or most of the folks which posted are correct. So basically what is profitability is basically on x-axis, you can see the sales. So this is X, and then your y-axis tells you what is the value of the profit. So you can see the value of the profit upon the value of the sales. So if I have to draw it in an sorry, draw it in a comfortable way, then it would be this particular value. Let's say for A, this value is the profit value, and this value is the sales value. And you can find it out for any of the users. So now this is the profit value for B, and this is the sales value for B. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So you can see the angle which it creates. So what is basically, if I have to write tan theta is equal to whatever the profit value is and whatever the sales value is, because it would be perpendicular upon base. Tan theta is what? So, and what is profit percent, which I told you guys to find out? It is also profit upon sales into 100. So basically this you can see is that profit percent is equal to tan theta into 100. So this 100 is constant enough. So as you can know that theta, when the angle will go from 0 to 90, the value of tan theta would increase. So as the bigger the angle, the bigger the value of the tan theta. So profit percent would be highest for someone. Titisha Sharma, you are not selling or buying anything. This is a profit and loss, not a profit and loss, but uh, a company's balance sheet. So it is calculated on whatever revenue you did. There is no cost price, selling price for a company. So So profitability, you can see that would be greater. So whichever line which make the best angle with this would have the highest profitability. So you can just keep your scales on the computer screen, or maybe if you are giving a paper which is on a hard copy, and you can measure whichever angle is the highest would be have the highest profitability. And then in terms of profit, whichever is on the highest side. So B and F seems equal, but yeah, whichever dot is above here, it looks like similar. But let's say if F was here, then highest profit is made by F. Profit in terms of absolute value. and H has made the highest sales because it has highest in the X direction. Its X component is the maximum. Okay. So this is based on, interpreting any graph in terms of its angle, its value, and all those things. Let's say if the same graph was your cost is here and your revenue is here. So if I say that there are multiple companies that lie on this, so it says how much you have spent and how much did the customers pay you. So let's say if there are a lot of companies here, can you can I know that which of the companies did profit and which of the companies? No, no, Anushka, sales is not does not matter. I was asking profit percent. So whoever is making the biggest angle would have the profit. If let's say there was a company X here, so profitability of X would be the highest because it is making the biggest angle. Exactly. Rahul has given the correct answer. So cost and revenue. So if your cost and revenue are same, that means you are making no profit. Okay. So if let's say your cost is 2 rupees and your revenue is 2 rupees and you are at this point of time, you are so there would be a line of 45 degree. On this line, if any company lies on this line, it has no profit. Whoever is below this line has a lower cost and higher revenue. So these companies are all profitable. And whoever is above this line is simply in loss. So simply by just drawing a 45-degree line, you are able to know. Answer of the question is B. I said na the maximum angle. So whichever company is in loss would be here, and whichever company is on profit would be here, because here it will have higher revenue than cost. Here it will have higher cost than revenue. And on this line, the company will be break even. Basically, no profit, no loss. How B, R, F, are on the same line, yeah? Can't you see B and F are on different lines? Look, B's line, this is the angle that is it. If you create the line of F, this would be the line. You have to draw the line from origin and not from 200. This is the slope of the line, right? So this angle, which is it is making from B, this angle is lesser than this angle. I hope everybody else has understood, right? Sales matters. That's the angle is dependent on sales and profit, na? So you have to find the sum of n terms of this series. Sorry, there is one typo, I guess. One second. One typo in this. I am just editing that. So the third term is 26 rather than 27. So the series is 0. Second term is 7. Third term is 26. Next term is 63, and so on. So basically, if you want to do it through sequence and series, this is, you can see all the terms are 1 less than the cube of the number. So this is basically 1 cube minus 1. This is not a trick. I'm doing it normally. So if this you can identify, then you can do it manually. So manually it would be, uh, so the general term would be n cube minus 1. So any term can be represented by this. So now if I want to find out the sum of n terms, I will need to do sigma. Then sum of n cube is n square n plus 1 square by 4. And then 1 is n. So this should be, and by solving this, you will get the answer. But I'm not interested in that method. So let me just do. So can you guys tell me what is the sum of one term of this particular series? What is the sum? If I take just one term, n as 1, what is the sum of one term in this series? 0, correct? Now let's put n equal to 1 in this. So you can see first is 1 plus 6 plus 1, 8. 8 minus 8 is equal to 0. This comes out to be 0. Okay. This putting in 1, this 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 minus 8 is minus 1. So minus 1 by 4. Putting n equal to 1 in this, 2. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5 minus 8. I think minus 3 by 8. And putting in this 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 minus 4 upon 4, 0. So you can see sum of one term, if I calculate sum of one term, this is coming out to be 0. So only two options are there, either of this. Now, what is the sum of two terms? First is 0. First is not 8, Abhishek. But is first is coming out to be 0. Yes, sum of two terms is 7. Let us put n equal to 2. So this would be 16 plus 6. 6 into 2 cube is 8. 48 plus 4 minus 8 into 2 is 16 by 8. How much does this come? 64 plus 4, 68. 68 minus 16 is approximately 48 by whatever, 50 by 8, something. 52 by 8. Okay. This we don't have to check because sum of one term is coming wrong from this. Sum of two. So n equal to 2 is, this is 16. This is 2 into 16. This is 4 minus 4 into 2 is 8 by 4. This is 32 plus 4, 36, 36 minus 28 by 4. This is 7. So sum of two terms is 7 and sum of two terms in the series is also 7. So did you all get it? What I did was n निकालने की I don't have the need to calculate the n. I can do, first of all, I can put n equal to 1. Then sum of one term should be 0. Then I can put n equal to 2. Then the sum of n two terms is 7. I know that. So whichever option is giving me that answer. Then, so if there would have been the case that all the answers are matching, then it would have been difficult and you would have to solve and just put it in. So Krish, once n is equal to 1, because this is the sum for a formula, because this terms represent the sum of the numbers, then it should follow for all n, correct? B n की value can be anything. This should be the sum of n terms, right? So once you put n is equal to 1, so that you are taking only one term from this, then sum of one term should be equal to 0, because we can see in the series that sum of one term is 0. Similarly, you can put n equal to 2. That means this formula should represent the sum of two terms. And we know from our series that sum of two terms is 7, correct? So I have put n equal to 2 and see that which formula is giving me 7. So only last formula was giving me one term also correct and sum of two terms also correctly. So this will be the value. I hope everything understood. What is the formula? Which formula? Some formula is, let's say, for sequence and series, I hope you guys have learned about this topic. So sequence, you have to find the general term. So let's say general term is whatever n square plus 1. Let us assume. Then you have to do to find out sum which is equal to sigma of an. So you have to do sigma on this side also. Sigma of n square plus 1. So sigma of n square plus sigma of 1. Sigma of, so now you should know that sum of 1, sum of n, sum of n square, sum of n cube, if you have to go by the longer method. So this is n into n plus 1 by 2. This is n into n plus 1 into 2 n plus 1 by 6. This you have to kind of remember. And for n cube, it is n square plus n plus 1 square by 4. So first you have to find out the general term. General term means you can denote any term by this. So in this series, if it is 0, 7, 26, 63, you can denote any term by n cube minus 1. So let's say if I put n equal to 4, you can see 4 cube minus 1, 64 minus 1, 63. So I can get the fourth term. If I put n equal to 3, I will get this. If I put n equal to 7, I will get the seventh term. Don't comment that this is a difficult or easy method. Understand it. Because I think mostly the people are able to understand the trick, what I'm saying. So sequence and series, you can put in sum for 1, 2, 3, and get to know the options without even getting to the hassle to calculate. Okay, let's just move to our next set of statement. Yeah, this is basically what I have solved. Put n equal to 1, then these all will be the solution. And put n equal to 2. Because I got 0 from these two, then I only solved for the last one and the first one in the second go. Okay. Now try this question. I'm again sorry because this does not, I think there was some issue in copying. This is 4 years, not 5. This is 4 years. Sorry. Just try to use shortcut because I know you guys can calculate because you know the formula for compound interest. But yeah, just interpret it from the formulas. You just have to write the formula. Yes, Bharat is correct. So you just have to write 1.4 lakh, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the formula for compound interest? Sorry, for amount in a compound interest. This is the formula, right? P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. So what is P? 1,40,000. What is rate of interest? 10 to the power 4. Okay. Then 14. What would this be? So basically 110 by 100. So I'm cancelling out the zeros. So this will be basically 11 by 10 to the power 4. So I'm writing it like this. So if you cancel, these four zeros will cancel. Now, you know whatever the amount is, the unit digit would be 4 because 4 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1. So the unit digit I know is 4. Okay. Now 4 is there. Then I know that half of the amount, that double the amount he has bought, then half of it would only when you half 4, there are only two scenarios. Either you can get 2 in the unit digits or you can get 7 in the unit digit. So you can see 17 into 2 is 34, or 7 into 2 is 14, and 12 into 2 is 24. So when you half 4, it will either give you 2 or it will give you 7. So there are two methods which are 7, and the other is 2. So you have only two options, either of these two are 7. And then you can see whether any is a multiple of 11 or not. So you can check divisibility by 11, and you can see that only one is divisible by 11. I hope you guys know how to calculate divisibility by 11. So divisibility by 11, you have to see that these three, sum of these three and sum of these three, the difference of these should be divisible by 11. So divisibility rule of 11 is, let's say you have 2, 9, 1, 4. I'm taking a random number here. So you add all the odd numbers. So 2 plus 1 plus 3 and all the even numbers separately. 9, 4 and 5. This is comes out to be 6. This comes out to be 5, 4, 9, 18. You subtract the sum of odd and even. So it comes out to be 12. So if the subtraction of these comes out to be 0 or multiple of 11, then this number is divisible by 11. This is the property of divisibility of 11. So I know because 4 11s were multiplied, so I know that number should be divisible by 11. So out of these, I choose the divisibility because of the fact that it is being multiplied by 11 4 times. So this answer should be a multiple of 11. Yeah. So try out this problem. So I'll just describe it to you. So an ant is there, which is kind of moving onto a chessboard, and it can only move on the boundaries of chessboard. That means it cannot go inside a box. It has to move it through boundaries only. So it has to start from the bottom of the board and go till where I have written and go to this particular point. And it has to start at the bottom of the board at the juncture. And it can only move across on these lines. And it can only go up or it can only go left. Okay. So you have to tell me in how many different ways the ant can reach. So what are the different paths, total number of paths that are possible through which the ant can reach from bottom left to uh, bottom right to top left. So let us see for a smaller thing. Okay. So you have to simplify the question first. First, build the solution for a smaller problem and then try to implement it to a bigger problem. So let's say ant is here and it has to go from here to here. Okay. So what are the methods it can take? One is it can go up 2 blocks, one here, and then it can go left. One method can be this, right? It goes up and it goes right. Then it can be, it goes first, it goes all the way left, and then it goes to top. Okay. It goes two left and two upwards. Then can be the case, let's say he went up first time, then he went, left, and then he went up, then it went left, and then it went again up. So one method can be this. One can be he went up, then he went left, then he went up, then he went left. So eventually, if you will see in a 2 cross 2 box, what is happening that it has to go 2 times left, right? It can go whenever it wants. So it can go once left here, then go top and then go left. So it has gone one time left here and one left here. Or similarly, what the ant can do is it can go left 2 times right now only and then go top. And eventually it has to climb up 2 times also. So it can do it in any order. So it has to go left 2 times or up 2 times. So it can do these steps in any order. It can go first left, then up, then left, then up. So it can do up, left, left. It can do up, left, up, left. Eventually, if it does 2 times up, 2 times left, it will start from here and end here, right? Because it has to go. So any combination of this, any new combination would give you a new path. Let's say I'm marking some more paths. So what would be LUUL? It would be first left, then up, then again up, then left. So this would translate to this path. This would translate to first up, then left, then up, then left. So all the paths that I'm writing down here, all the combinations of this would give you a different path. So basically, you have to find out the number of combinations possible for this. So for a chessboard, how many lefts it has to go to reach the end left part? How many times it has to go left? 8 times, correct. Because chessboard has 8 boxes and top also it has to go 8 times. So basically any combination of 8 times L and 8 times U would be your unique path. So total number of path would be you have to arrange 8L and 8U in a sequential order. So there will be 16 elements. So out of which 8 are L. This is basically PNC. You have to make words out of L and U, which are 16 places long and which have 8L and 8U. So this will be the total number of ways in which the ant can cross this particular chessboard. I hope it is clear. So similar question is there. So this is the solution of this. So bonus problem is that this particular junction, this point has some track on which ant would be trapped. So ant want to avoid this particular junction. Now you have to tell me what is the total number of ways from here to here. So to avoid this, you understood now? Through this, the ant cannot pass. Because if it will go through this particular junction, it would be trapped. There is something kept. Now use your knowledge in the last and then give the solution to this. So the solution to this would be basically you will see all the ways that lead you to this place. You have to subtract this from all the. So already had an answer of 16 factorial. So Bharat, you have made a little typo. So this is basically 3 levels up and 4 levels down. So there would be seven. You have to take 4 lefts and 3 ups to reach this particular trap. So how many ways to reach the trap? Total number of ways would be 7 factorial by 4 factorial by 3 factorial. This would be the total number of ways to reach this particular trap. And this you have to avoid. So total number of ways to reach the trap, you have to subtract from the previous. So all other ways would be favorable for you. So I think a lot of people have given correct answers. So I hope this is clear. But basically you don't have to, and there can be other challenging problems also that it has sort of blocked this whole area is blocked. Then you will have to kind of. So Mahima, total number of ways you understood, right? You have to take 8 ups and 8 lefts to reach this point. But some of your paths would follow this route where you are passing through this red zone. So you cannot pass through this red zone. So you see how many ways are possible to reach your red zone. So red zone is your 4 steps to the left and 3 steps to the up. This is your red zone. To reach your red zone from here, you have to reach 3 up and 4 left. So basically, all the paths possible to this red zone from this starting point is 4 L's and 3 U's, all the combination of this. So this will be your 7 total letters and 4 factorial upon 3. So these are the total number of paths to reach this. So you have to subtract all the paths that lead you to this. So you subtract all the paths this. And then there can be complex question where I was telling you that these areas are blocked. Then you will have to take in mind how many ways to reach this, this, and kind of remove the overlap areas as well. So that would be a very complicated question, but try to do it yourself. Give yourself a problem n cross m grid, and I am not allowed to go through this, and then you shall be able to. But you have to get the knack of the trick. Okay. Now try this particular problem. So f dash x is basically differentiation of the above. So first of all, can you guys tell me what will be the solutions of fx is equal to 0? Number of solutions of this. Then solve the question. First of all, I want to know fx is equal to 0. What will be the number of solutions? 4, exactly. Right? Because x will be equal to 0, x will be equal to 2, x will be equal to 3, x is equal to minus 3. Correct, correct. Awesome. Matlab, that is known to you guys. Okay. Then you have to tell me this one. So basically, differentiation of x has how many solutions? So I will also tell you a little bit tricks about how to do polynomials and these kinds of questions. So it will be very generic, not applicable to this question, but it will be. Yes, correct answer would be 3. So basically, either you can expand the polynomial, even that is, well, so you know that the highest power of x would be 4. If you multiply all the x's, you will get the highest power as 4. So if you will differentiate it, it will be one power would be reduced. So these many number of solutions would be there. Then there is also a method called as which most of the engineers would know, which is called as wavy curve method. So you draw fx. What does actually f dash x means? So you draw fx. Fx is x is equal to 0 is one solution. You know x is equal to 2 is one solution. X is equal to 3 is one solution. And x is equal to minus 3 is one solution. Minus 3 is 0. So this I have taken from this. These are the four solutions. Now, because power of x would be positive, x into x, x square into x, x cube, x is to x. That does not matter, but just power of x would be 4. This would be in the positive direction. Now you can build a wavy curve, which would always be like this if the solutions are distinct. So you know all the solutions are distinct. So f dash x means the slope is 0. So for any curve, for the slope to be 0, it has to get flat. Flat means a line parallel to x-axis should be tangent. So you can see one flat you will get here, one flat you will get here, and one flat you will get here. You will always get this because it always polynomial would move in a curve method or a wavy curve method. Okay. So let me just draw another graph. So let's say if any polynomial has 5 solutions, then it would most likely move it like that. Now you can see between every two solution, your f dash x would be 0 whenever there is a line which is flat. But this would work very simply for polynomials which are very simple. Don't do it for complex polynomials. So polynomial will have a graph in this method or whichever is their final root or the first root, it would go till infinity after that. So there is not a possibility of having f dash x equal to 0 after this because no line is possible which will be tangent. It will always cut. So only tangent line is possible within the root zone. So let's say if fx is equal to has 4 roots, then if it is a simple polynomial, then f dash x would have 3 roots. And actually, if there's a complex polynomial, then it would be at least 3 roots. So f dash x will have at least 3 solutions, but it is asking you how many solutions, not at least at most. So the answer would be 3 because of this is a simple polynomial. So this you can implement in any polynomial. Let's say if it starts to f double dash x equal to 0, then it would always be 2 solutions. There's a bonus problem for you. We'll do this at last and try this particular problem. Read this instruction and then I will have the question for you. Basically, flight system has to be built. The only thing is that person can live in any city and do an up down. Let's say he can travel to his office in another city in the morning and come back from that city to his own city in the evening. That is the only criteria that they have. So there should be at least one flight in every city to go to other city, and there should be a second flight in the evening from the city you have your office in, and then you can come back. That is the only condition. Otherwise, there is no special. Now, let us do first manually. Let us see if your answer is correct. So by that logic, if there are two cities, okay, then the number of flight, let's say this is A, this is B. So if it is morning, there should be one flight from here to here and one flight from here to here. So one each. And if it is evening, there should be one flight from A to B and then one. So total of 4 flights. So going by your logic, the answer should be 2C2 into 2. It should be 2, but there are 4 flights. So everyone is wrong. Yes, Bharat, 180 is the correct answer. So let us do this. How to do this? Okay. Let's say this is city A and there are 10 more cities also. So because you need whoever is having home in A, can travel to any of these cities, of these nine cities. So you will have to have nine flights in the morning from A, correct? Morning, you will have to have nine flights from A, which can go to B, C, D, whatever. And in the evening also, you have to have nine flights because whoever's office is in A have to go to evening. So 18 flights are originating from A alone. So out all of these places are equal. So 10 places are there, 18 flights are there, which are originating. Total 180. Was this difficult? And all of you guys were going towards combination and all those things. Combination is also okay, but try to see na. Logical. Nine flights leaving A in the morning. Obviously, it has to go to every destination. Nine flights will have to leave A in the evening because everyone who has got their homes in other places should have to leave from A. So 18 flights leaving A, which has their source destination as A. So everyone will have 18 flights. Okay. So next also, last question. Let's try this. We are already short of time, but let's just try this. Uh, this is the same as this question, but has a special condition also. So let's just look at it. This is ABC. So it is saying that ABC are hubs and the rest seven, one, two, three, four, five, six. So there would be no direct flights in between these. Okay. And there will be direct flights only between hubs. So you have to, if you want to go from, let's say, E to F, you have to go to one hub and then go to F. Okay. So within ABC, there would be, let's say I'm only taking about morning. So there would be a flight from A to B. There would be a flight from A to C. There would be a flight from originating from A, let's say. Only I take from A. Morning A would be two flights to B and C. Also from A, you can go to these places also. So there would be seven flights from A to these places. Because you have to only go to one hub. So you cannot go from A, B, then to E. So there would be two flights to B and C and seven flights to rest from A, right? So in the morning, just there are seven flights, and then there will be seven reverse flights from these also. So in the morning, if I talk about rest, there would be seven flights from A and seven flights from these two A. So this would give me 14 flights. And if I calculate for evening, this would give me 7 plus 7, which is 14 more flights, which is 28 flights. So now for these A, B, and C, which are hubs, it should have 28 flights each for each hub, which is your 84 flights. Okay. A individually to these seven, B individually to these seven, C individually to these seven, because you only can go to one hub. Now, A, B, C आपस में how many flights can be there? Subah Sham they can be connected. It's not directly they can have flights directly to them and आपस में भी तो आपस में how many flights would be there A B C का A will leave B morning and evening. A will leave C morning and evening. So each of them has four flights to each other. So these are 12 flights. So 12 flights within ABC. So this will give you a total of 96 flights. I hope it is clear. Another way of doing is, let's say you only keep track of morning, we will double for it. Okay. So from A, outgoing can be 7 plus 2 to B and C, 9, right? From B, outgoing would be 9. From C, outgoing would be 9. So number of outgoing would be equal to number of incoming. Otherwise, the traffic would not be balanced, right? And for the rest of the folks, the number of flights are 7, are only 3, because they are only dealing with these 3. So the incoming flights in the mornings only. So these are three. Because one is from A, one is from B, one is from C. So these are only the outgoing flights. So let's just total it. This is 21, 3 into 7, and this is 27. So this is 48. So total number of flights in the morning would be 48, and the total number of flights overall would be 96. Correct? I hope this was clear.